Chocolate. Velvet fruit, exquisite square I hold up to sniff between finger and thumb. How you numb me with your rich attentions. If I don't eat you quickly, you'll melt in my palm. Pleasure seeker, if I let you, you'd liquefy everywhere. Knotted smoke, dark punch of earth and night and leaf. For a taste of you, any woman would gladly crumble to ruin. Enough chatter. I am ready to fall in love.
So, who is Rita Dove? I bet you guys are wondering who this excellent poet is. Well, I don't know the answer to it, so I'm gonna lead you guys just to Google search it, and you guys can help yourself to that. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. I'm just kidding. But Rita Dove, she was born in Akron, Ohio in 1952. Her father was actually one of the first black chemists in the tire industry. She was one of the smartest students in high school. She earned the honor to be called a National Merit Scholar, and she attended the University of Miami in Ohio. She's an excellent writer and poet. She has influenced many of her peers, especially African American women. By the year 1993, she won and was named the U.S. Poet Laureate. Just 40 years of age. That's the youngest a person has ever won that title. And the most important fact of that was that she was the first African American to hold such a title. Currently, she is the chair of Commonwealth Professor of English at the University of Virginia, and she was currently elected as Chancellor of the Academy of American Poets. The second question you should be asking me is, Vic, why did you choose the title or even the poem Chocolate? Well, first of all, I love chocolate. Ain't no doubt about that. And I'm not speaking metaphorically either. I'm just talking about the candy. So, when I first came upon Miss Dove's work, I went through the entire list, or not the entire list, but at least a list of her most exceptional work, and saw a title that I embrace, a title that I can relate to, and that was Chocolate. I enjoy this poem. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it too. I know I rambled on. I know, Dr. Thorne, you wanted something to be creative, or you wanted this project to be creative and imaginative. Hopefully I was able to do that. Anyways, I got 2 more videos I want to show you. These are my students from the Watts Willowbrook Boys and Girls Club, and they will tell you about what they feel what black aesthetic is, and hopefully you enjoy those 2 videos, and I am out.
Hi, my name is Jalen Foreman. I'm 16 years old. I live in Los Angeles, California, aka Watts. Black aesthetics means to me, it's like, I kind of feel like it's expressing, you know, your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions through like different forms of art. Like me, I know for one, I like to do music. So like when I write songs, I write them based on something, like, not even on something, just on like my feelings in life. That's what I kind of feel like it means to me. I feel like people approach it in like different ways. Like I know I have some friends, like for instance, a good friend of mine, Justin Bennett. he draws. Another friend of mine, we both do poetry. I just, you know, I set my, how can I say it? People around me, I want to make sure like they don't just do everything in like a negative way, like, oh, like gang violence and stuff, like gang banging. No, I don't associate with people like that. I try to like set myself away from that. I set myself with people who have like a positive look on things, who are, you know, not only trying to find ways to better their community, but better themselves as well as a person. And that's what I kind of feel like Black aesthetics means to me. The main thing that I try to focus on is like, you know, like I said before, like bettering me, you know, bettering others around me, making sure everybody has like a positive look on thing on life. You know, I just really try to not try to look at everything in like a bad way. I try to see the good in everything. So like, you know, although I might be having like a rough day, I try to look for ways to better that day. So that's where like writing songs and like poetry and stuff comes in. Like growing up with my mom, you know, just single parent, it kind of like seeing what like she goes through, it kind of made me write this poem to let her know how much I really love her and care about her, and I appreciate everything that she does for me. So I'm gonna share this poem. I don't remember everything. I wrote it way back then, but like it kind of, I like it. So it goes like this. So I wrote my love for you on a piece of paper, but it got crumbled and thrown away. So I went to the beach, I wrote it in the sand, but the waves washed it away. I wrote it in the sky to show her how much I loved her, but the winds blew it away. I wrote it in my body, but I knew soon my body would fade away. So I wrote it in my soul, and now that's where it will forever remain. And that was the piece I wrote for my mom. I would have to say, how people see themselves, like really I don't try to judge people, but like say for instance, like I say most people, they would try to look at them as somebody who, you know, just messes around, you know, they try to like better themselves by making fun of others, you know, like, oh look, he doesn't have the latest shoes, or look at his haircut, this, that, and the other. Oh, you're ugly, you don't got this, you don't got that. You know, they just try to find ways to, you know, degrade each other, and I kind of feel like.
When you sorry to stop you there, but when you say they, who do you mean by they?
Like people that are also like Black, that are in the Black community, they look at themselves in a negative way and not in a positive way. That's kind of how I see it. And I kind of feel like that should change. We should all be trying to better one another.
My name is Justin Bennett. I am 16 and
on the beat.
I think Black aesthetic is more of like a movement of us trying to be our own type of people. Like for so long, Black people have been held down as people, looked at as like more of like a thing rather than an actual human being. So I think Black aesthetic is putting us on top of the pedestal as Americans, and you know, actually making us be recognized as human beings and as everybody else.
KB on the beat.
Well, it's kind of really like I would say a catch-22 with it, because ever since we first came to America, it was some African Americans who didn't like being known as Black. They didn't like being their color because of what people actually put into their heads. And then there's people who actually likes the culture, and there's people who like want to embody more of that culture. But in my personal opinion, I feel there's like you can see Black culture everywhere. No matter, not saying that it's just like that big, but I'm just saying like it's more like African Americans have dominated both the entertainment industry when it comes to music and sometimes movies, but more of music. So when like say like if Jay-Z and Beyonce makes a song, that song could reach all the way to the other half of the world, to China. Say if J. Cole makes a song, that's gonna reach all the way because people like music and people like the kind of music that we're putting out, and that is mainstream music to this day, which is hip hop and R&B, which they come from jazz and rock, and that also came from us too. So I think there is some people who doesn't want to embody being known as African American and Black because it's the stuff that comes in their mind state and how they're treated by other people. Like if a kid is bullied, they don't, for wearing glasses, they wouldn't want to wear the glasses no more. So it's just like that. Oh, that's funny. 'Cause I think it's gonna be how it's gonna be forever. Like Black African Americans are known for being divided, but we didn't choose to be divided. We was made divided, and I feel like some of these things help, like the Black Lives Matter movement, and back then the civil rights and the whole Fight the Power movement. But I feel like we are kind of separated. We're separated on a bunch of ideas. Like right now, we're so separated on the Black Lives Matter movement, and I just felt like people say like street violence, we need to deal with our own people killing our own people instead of police killing our people. But it's like when we're in a stuck in the society that we are in, and we just we feel trapped in this society, we gonna lash out. And when people lash out, casualties do happen, but in due time something gotta happen for us to be equal. I guess I just went off with that answer, but something really does have to happen for us to be equal. And the whole police violence thing did make us equal, and Trayvon Martin being shot did make us equal on one thing, but that thing is moving and shifting. So us being equal is kind of going less and less. And so yeah, we just need something that will bring us together. And if it does bring us together, more power to it. I'll even probably support it. But
So do you think in your lifetime you will ever see a true unification of the Black population?
well, everybody treats each other unequal, I should say. There ain't no such thing as true equality to me. Like back in English times, if you was gay, they would hang you. So there ain't no such thing as truly being equal, because what I see as with you, somebody could see in a different way. And they have kids and they teach their kids their ways. So they're gonna see that kind of way. And that kid's gonna have kids. Sometimes things aren't meant to be equal in the world. We just gotta accept it how it is, instead of trying to fight for world peace.